Hi, this is Christian Chase with Chase Real Estate and ChaseForeclosure.com. Hey, thanks for visiting our videos page. And what I'm able to do here is I have a few segments set out so I can help you as a real estate investor understand the process working with Chase Real Estate, getting foreclosed properties. And the number one question that we do get is, how do we get these foreclosed properties? We work directly with banks, government agencies, asset managers, estate attorneys, and they're sending us new properties every single day. We're getting approximately 5 to 7 new assets or properties being sent to us. Now, most everything that we get is going to be in the Chicagoland suburbs. We do get some properties in the city of Chicago, but I would say most everything is going to be Chicago suburbs, from the Wisconsin border to the Indiana border and everything in between. So these new properties are being assigned to us. And when they're assigned to us, essentially what we do is we will send out one of our field brokers to go out to the property. They're going to go ahead and take 50, 60 photos of the property. Now, these are not marketing photos. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly about the property. So a big thing that I think investors need to know is that the types of photos that we're getting, we even sometimes are able to get a 3D tour of the property, but the lighting has to be absolutely perfect. So, but we get a lot of photos, good, bad, ugly, a video tour. We will also task out one of our renovation teams to go out to the property and give us a renovation scope. And that's going to be, what is it going to take to get that property into resellable condition? Now, we don't ask our renovation team to give us a rental scope because we always know the scope to remodel a property, to buy, fix, and sell it is always, or I would say 99% of the time, going to be much higher than what it would cost to renovate the property to rent it. So I'm always asking for the higher of the two scopes. What is it going to cost to renovate the property? So I get photos, video, renovation scope, everything then gets turned into me. And I'm like the analyst for the company. I sit there and I go through and I analyze the property itself. So I'm pulling up all comparable sales within the last 6 months in the neighborhood, similar design and style, what are the fit and finishes going to be for the property, and then coming up with what is the ARV, or after rehab value. So to use an example, let's say there's a property in Bolingbrook. We looked at the property. The home is worth $250,000 all fixed up, cleaned up. Renovation team said it's going to take $50,000 to get it renovated, and the bank is going to release the property at $125,000. That's a property we like. We'll go ahead and put that over in our investor pile. Then I'll look at another property. So this property is located in Schaumburg. Property is worth $250,000, needs $50,000 worth of work, and the bank's going to release the property for $175,000. Okay, those numbers are a little too tight, doesn't work. Going to put it over here in this pile, which I call our MLS pile. Those are properties we are going to market out onto the multiple listing service. We're not going to be presenting those properties to our investors. So two different piles being created. The investor pile are the ones that we're sending to you. And then there's the MLS pile, which will be kind of parked off to the side. And there's other reasons why properties will go into this MLS pile. Let's say it's got a great spread. We could buy it here and it's worth here, everything checks out, but the property backs to a water treatment plant. Okay, now that's something that we don't want one of our investors to be buying. Not that homes won't sell. And the one thing about real estate, which I think is interesting, everything sells. It's how long does it take to sell it? So that's the type of property, backing to a water treatment plant. Let's park that over into the MLS permanently. But sometimes a property will be on the MLS side. And right now we don't like it. But the bank calls me 3 or 4 months later, maybe 3 months later, and says, Christian, hey, reduce the price by $30,000. Well, now that property that's in the MLS pile, because the bank is really motivated to get that property sold, the numbers may make sense, and we'll slide that over into our investor pile. So we're getting new properties every single day, which is nice. And I think for you as an investor, you have lots of selection to look at. And we've done a lot of the due diligence on the property for you. You may be a local investor that lives in the Chicagoland area. A lot of our investors live out of state and out of country. So they're not familiar with the areas or the property itself. You may have the ability to go out there or may know the names of the towns where these properties are located. So what I'm going to get into next is talking a little bit about how we end up working directly with like financing on each one of these properties. Okay, so you've identified a foreclosure property that you're looking to purchase. One of the things is financing the property. Now, if you're paying cash, that makes things super simple. You're paying cash for the property. If you are financing the house, we do have bankers that work directly in our office that have the ability to not only finance the purchase of the property, but they will also finance the renovation. So it's something we would want you to get totally qualified from one of our lenders. If you're not paying cash, we want to make sure that you get qualified with one of our bankers. And the reason being is that when you put up earnest money on a foreclosure property, and earnest money is what holds the house. That tells the bank, the seller, hey, we're definitely interested in buying this property. When you put up earnest money on the property, we're at a point of no return, meaning if you couldn't get financing for some reason, you would forfeit your earnest money. And I think that's something that's very, very important for investors to know, is that you want to make sure you're totally qualified with the lender up front. And once they've given you the green light, then you're reaching out to us and saying, hey, Christy, give me that pile of those investment properties on a daily basis. And we'll start sending them out to you as we get them. And it's not like some giant email list that we send out. We're not sending properties that way. Once you're qualified with the lender and you have the green light, or if you are paying cash, we are then sending you, Christy is reaching out to you directly with the properties as she gets them. And that is, I think, something that you just need to be on the lookout for. Be a good communicator. If you're looking for properties, just send her a quick text message, an email, whatever it may be. Just let her know that you're looking for properties, and she'll send you what she has that day. And there's new properties every single day. And I think the best part about working with us is as we get these properties, you don't have to worry about having to buy that property, the one that we get today. We'll always have another property tomorrow. That's something that I think you can feel very, very confident in, is that we're going to have new inventory. So if for some reason you don't like that property because it's colored, it's a pink color, and you want a blue house, well, we'll probably end up having a blue house shortly enough. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about title work and attorney. Okay, you've identified the property that you would like to purchase, and you've got your financing together. It's now time to close the property. And what's really kind of nice about these foreclosure properties is the banks pay us a commission to broker the deal. So the banks pay us 2.5% to 3% commission to broker the deal. You are always buying the property directly from the bank. We don't buy it and then sell it to you. You are buying the property directly from the seller. The banks pay us a commission of 2.5% to 3% commission to broker the deal. So we're acting in a brokerage capacity only. We're helping put you and the bank together to identify the deal. They pay us a commission to broker those deals. Now, in regards to the attorney and the title work, once you've ended up identifying that property and getting the financing together, now we can go to closing. Now, once we go to closing on the property, we have an attorney. We have Illinois' #1 foreclosure attorney. She's been working with me for 20 plus years, and she will handle all of the closing paperwork, any inspections with the cities. All that stuff is handled directly through the attorney's office. And you're going to find she's great at helping you form any types of corporations, if you have partnership agreements, a great resource. And the title company gives our clients, if you buy a property from Chase, huge discounts on title. And that's the one thing that I think a lot of investors don't know about, is that attorneys make a ton of money off of title work. And I was able to negotiate a long time ago that our investors are all repeat, coming back again and again and again. And because of that, being a repeat buyer, I wanted to make sure that our investors were able to not pay full freight for title insurance, because a majority of it goes to the attorney. So a lot of times you think there's an attorney fee that you're paying, but you're actually paying the attorney fee, and then you're paying this title fee, and a portion of the title most times is going to the attorney. So you're paying a lot for the attorney. So the big thing is to be able to keep those costs down, get good quality representation, and Brenda and her team, her staff are awesome. You will find that is a very important part of you building a nice investment business. So, but again, you will always get clear title to the property. Any back taxes, liens, water bills, those are all paid off by the seller before you close. You will not close on any of these properties unless you get clear title to the property. And the home needs to be vacant as well, so we would never close on a property if it was occupied. We'll get clear title and an unoccupied piece of real estate, and we can always do a walkthrough on the property the day before the closing to go ahead and take a quick peek around and look at the property. So our next step is getting the property renovated. Okay, and here's where our system really kicks in, and I think this is the fun part of the process, is getting the property renovated. And I really spent a lot of years really trying to hone in on this and get everything just organized so the chaos is taken out of it. One of the things that you can do on our website on chaseforeclosure.com, we have a investor task list, and it's task list flip or task list rental. And so it's just a good way to keep you organized, and it takes you from start to finish, from the day that you identify the property to the day that you sell it with your end buyer or you get the home rented. I would encourage you to go to that page. It's under Investor Resources, Task List Flip or Task List Rental. They're not going to be the most exciting pages, but I can assure you it'll be a page that you use on every property that you do. And if you have a partner or someone like that, it's a great way to do like a division of labor. Who's going to be doing what? You need to outline that. And I've already got the outline there for you. All you need to do is assign who does what. So we've closed on the property. Renovation can now get started. You need to reach out to the renovation team, let them know that you've officially closed on the property. They will, within the next couple days of closing on the property, they will go out to the property. They'll change the locks, get a key box installed on the property. They will get the utilities activated at the home. Now, it's your responsibility to get the utilities put into your name, but they will meet with the gas, water, and electric at the property to go ahead and actually get the utilities activated. You do not need to do that. The renovation team will then order any permits that are required from the municipality or the county or whoever is overseeing the property. They will order any of the permits, and then renovation can get started. Now, one thing that we use in place is we use Workplace to really kind of keep everybody in the loop. It's a project management tool, and I have a whole separate section on our website that's dedicated to using Workplace. And once you start using Workplace, you're never going to not want to use Workplace ever again. It is a great project management tool, and it's a way for us to keep you and the renovation contractor, everybody that's involved in the property, informed and up to date what's going on. So the day you close on the property, renovation team gets in there and starts doing their stuff. We are creating a Workplace, and we're inviting you, the investor, the renovation team. I'm invited into it. Christy, any other pertinent parties are invited into this Workplace. And that's where photos, video, communication is happening about the property, so that we're all informed on what is actually happening. If there's an issue at the property, we're all alerted to that. It's a perfect way to communicate. Now, I'm big on talking on the phone, and I'm a texter. I will do all those things. And email, I think they're all great. The only issue with using any of those services is it sometimes leaves someone out, or it takes time for someone to respond. Workplace really alerts everyone if there is something that needs to be addressed, and you can periodically go on there and check your news feed and see what's happening with your particular property. So they're private groups. The group would be called 132 Skidoo in Naperville, and all the photos, all the pertinent parties are invited into it. Photos are constantly being uploaded, video, any communication. If there's something that's needs to be addressed at the property, you can mention, so like at Christian, and then we can communicate with each other very quickly. That kind of highlights something to me. So a great tool is Workplace. So our renovation teams are uploading the photos on there on a regular basis, and you are paying the renovation team directly. I have no financial interest in the renovation teams. They are completely separate of us. But there's teams. I have 5 teams that work with us. They're reputable. I know they're going to show up to the property. I know they're not going to run off with my client's money. So I think you're going to find that it is a very, very good system for you as an investor. You can kind of plug in. Now remember, if you have your own renovation team in place, and you don't want to use our renovation team, you're not obligated to, okay? We sold you the property, and that's what our financial interest was in this property, is when you bought the property, the banks paid us a commission to broker the deal. Now I'm trying to introduce you to our lenders, to our attorneys, title companies, renovation teams. Again, totally independent of us, financially independent of us, and we want to refer you to somebody that we know and trust is going to show up, get the job done timely, and stay on budget. Those are some of the real important parts to working with a system. So, but again, think of everything that I'm talking about as links in a chain. You can take a link out and insert a link where you see fit. So if you don't want to use our renovation team, take that link out and then insert your link in that spot. It fits just perfect. Now, the next step I'd like to talk about is getting the property back on the market for sale or for rent. Okay, renovation has been totally completed. Now we're going to go one of 2 directions here, and we're either going to sell the property or we're going to rent the property. So if we're going to go the resale route, very, very simple. All you're going to need to do is you're going to go right back onto the website that you're on right now, likely on Chase Foreclosure. And we have list property. It's on our home page. It takes about 5 minutes to fill this information out. That triggers all of us to work on getting the property listed. So that's our process of getting the home listed. Then our listing team takes over. They will work on getting the property listed in the MLS, sign in the yard, key box on the door, home advertised on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, and we do a ton of Facebook and Google AdWords advertising. So I think you're going to find the advertising that we do is way above and beyond your traditional real estate agent. My budget's much higher than what your traditional agent is. Your average agent only does a couple deals a year. We're doing over 1,000 of these properties. So I've dedicated a large budget to advertising. And because I'm buying advertising in bulk, it costs me a lot less than somebody that only is running one ad on one house at one time. So it makes a lot more sense. And so we're giving you full service listing, and it's above and beyond what a traditional broker would do. You have to kind of remember, this is a relationship. The sooner you get this property sold, guess what? You're coming back and buying another property with us again. And that's the whole goal of this entire process, is that, hey, you get this property sold, guess what? You were happy, that it was profitable, you enjoyed it, you want to come back and do this all over again. So what we're trying to do is establish a relationship, and to be able to have those relationships, we need to be able to take care of you. And one of the ways that we're able to do that is we do a reduced commission. And if you look at our website on Chase Foreclosure under Instant List, which is under our list property, it gives you can see what the commission savings are working with us. And it's not a little bit, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. So to use an example, if your profit was going to be $30,000 on the property, because we're doing the commissions we're listing the property at a reduced commission, I may be saving you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in commission. So your property goes from $30,000 to $34,000, and you're like, wow, that was a great deal. I enjoyed it. Let's do it all over again. Next time you buy a property, guess what? The bank, the government agency, or the asset manager, they pay us a commission to broker the next deal. So those are some really important parts to the process, is getting the property listed for sale. And our listing team is so good. They know how to negotiate. They sit right outside my door, so I hear all the conversations. When offers come in, I get excited about the offers that come in, so I like to hear what's happening. And I've got a real good pulse on what's happening with all of our listings, negotiations, offers being presented, activity, all that kind of intel. So, and we also keep you informed whenever we have the property listed. You're going to see every single showing that occurs, and you're going to see the feedback from all of those showings. So you're going to know exactly what agents, buyers, everybody is saying about your property in real time. Now let's go down the path. We're going to go ahead and rent the property. If we're going to go the rental route, so we didn't want to sell the house, we're going to rent the property, that's where you're going to go on to our website, chaserental.com, and you will go to that website, click on list property. You'll fill out the form. Again, it takes about 5 minutes to get the form listed, to get the home listed for rent. Then our leasing team takes over. Our lead leasing agent, Amanda, will then reach out to you, maybe just to get a few more details about the property itself. She will get the property listed. She will do all the background checks, credit checks, criminal checks. She will look at the application itself, and I always say she's like a private investigator. She scours the application to find if there's any flaws or anything like that. And she charges 1 month's rent to get the property rented out. She will write up the lease, exchange the keys, collect first month's rent and 1 month security deposit, deliver everything to you. And so then you have your property rented with a good qualified tenant. And you'll find that Amanda and her leasing team is a great resource. And I personally use them on every single rental that I own. And I pay them the same as every one of my investors. I pay out 1 month's rent to Amanda. I don't want her not working on renting my property. So I think you'll find that it's a really great resource having her in place to help you get that property rented. And then in addition to that, we have property management as well. And Amanda would point you in the direction on getting your property into property management. And that's something independent of every investor. I mean, if you have a couple properties and you have the time to manage your property, I'd say do it yourself. If you need it, we are a full service property management company managing hundreds of properties for our investors. So if you need that, it's there. If you want to do it yourself, again, these are all like links in a chain. Take that link out, insert your link in its place, and the system works itself through. So, but I would like to summarize in just a moment a quick little overview on our entire process. So to summarize what we do, we not only help you find the properties. I think that's a big part of what investors come to us looking for, is they're looking for inventory. We're able to help you find the property. But not only can we help you find and identify good deals and point you in the right direction, we have the banks and the lenders in place to help you get the financing, to purchase the property and to make renovations to the property. We have the attorneys and the title companies that are there to help you get the properties closed and form corporate structure. And then after that, once you've got the property closed, now we have the renovation teams in place to help you get the property renovated. And after the renovation is complete, now it's time to get the home listed for sale or for rent. We handle both of those ends of it. And if you wanted property management, we've got that as well. So it is a one-stop shop for investors. You'll find it's very organized. I like things very neat and tidy. I built this decades ago. This is my 25th year doing this, coming into my 26th year doing this, and putting a system in place. I originally built this whole system for myself. I was an investor in 1995, and I realized one thing very quickly: if you're not organized and you can't make things predictable and repeatable, it's very difficult to build a business. And to build a business, an investing business, I realized I need to have a very, very good system. And that's what I think we put in place. Now, by no means is it perfect. It's not. I'm working on it every single day. There'll never be a day where I sit there and say, this is absolute perfection. It is a process. It is a system. and it's something that we're constantly working on. And feedback from our investors is what keeps catapulting us forward. And I think that's something that we do listen to. We want constructive criticism and positive reinforcement. So that's something very, very important. But please spend some time on our website, chaseforeclosure.com. I have so much information on there about investing in real estate and what we're doing right now, materials, and look at our hits and misses page. But don't forget, to get a property listed, it is so simple on our Chase Foreclosure website. All you need to do is click a button and you can get your property listed for sale or for rent. Very, very easy process. So again, thanks for tuning in. If we have not met, I look forward to meeting you, and thank you.